Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the inner workings of the Linux file system. Most engineers get this wrong because a single misconfigured mount or an ignored Inode limit can take down a production database in seconds. Let's move past the basic commands and look at how the Linux kernel manages your data on disk. This is the foundation of every stable production server. We have a packed agenda today. We are covering the abstraction layer, the internal kernel structures, how to monitor these in production, and how to choose the right file system for your workload. Specifically, that includes the VFS, Inodes, disk geometry, and production-grade optimization. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video, so do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. If you are looking for general Linux administration, we have a complete video on essential Linux skills for DevOps engineers in the description. Hit subscribe and join our WhatsApp community for more practical resources every week. So why does this matter? Let me explain. Have you ever seen a disk report 0 bytes free, yet when you list your files, you see nothing? That is a classic file system issue. If you do not understand how Linux handles file metadata versus actual data, you are essentially flying blind during a production outage. And that is exactly why senior engineers prioritize this knowledge. Now, what is a Linux file system really? It is a structural map of your data. Think of it like a library. The Inode is the catalog card that holds the metadata, like the author, the creation date, and the specific location. The data blocks are the actual pages of the book stored on the shelves. If you lose the card, the book is effectively gone, even if it is still sitting on the shelf. Perfect. Before we dive into the commands, make sure you have everything ready. You need a Linux system, preferably a modern Ubuntu release. You must have sudo access because we will be looking at system-level mounts. You do not need to install anything extra, as the utilities we are using are baked into the kernel and core utils. Just open your terminal and you are ready to go. Specifically, that includes a Linux environment, specifically Ubuntu 20.04 or 24.04 recommended. Root or sudo privileges are required to inspect system mounts and file metadata. Ensure the core utils package is installed, which comes standard on all Linux distros, and you need a terminal window. Open press Ctrl-Alt-T on Ubuntu or use your SSH client. How does this work internally? Let me walk you through it. The kernel uses the Virtual File System or VFS. It acts as a universal translator. Whether you are using a local hard drive or a network attached storage, your application just calls standard open or read commands. The VFS layer routes those requests to the correct driver. That is how Linux remains so flexible. On the first line, we use the stat command. This shows us the exact inode number for a specific file. On line 2, we use the df command with the I flag. This is the key to solving the out of space goes problem. It lists the output here is critical. Notice the inode number, that is the unique ID for the file record. Below, the df output shows that we have 50% of our inodes used. If data in a production environment, you need performance stats. Line 1 runs iostat with the X flag. This tells you if your disk is actually saturated. Line 2 uses the do command to find which directories are consuming your blocks. As a senior engineer, look at the await column in the iostat output. That is the average wait time for I or O requests. If that number climbs into double digits, your file system is struggling. The do output confirms that our system logs are taking up 100 megabytes. This is how you identify the culprit of a full disk in seconds. Here is the error you will see. You try to create a file and it fails. But wait. If you run df-h, it says you have plenty of room. The root cause is almost always exhausted Inodes, usually from a process creating millions of tiny temporary files. The fix is to find the directory with the most files and clean it up. To fix this, we use the find command. We count files by directory to see who is hogging the inodes. Once you identify the folder, you clear it. In this case, we are targeting a temporary session folder. Think about an e-commerce platform. They were processing thousands of orders when the checkout service crashed. They had plenty of blocks, but they hit the inode limit. The team spent hours looking at disk space before realizing the culprit was a mismanaged cache. They implemented a cron job to purge old sessions, and the issue never returned. This is a classic production nightmare. So which file system should you choose? Use ext4 if you are on a simple server or a boot partition. It is simple, fast, and extremely stable. If you are dealing with massive multi-terabyte volumes or heavy database workloads, go with XFS. It scales better with parallelism. Do not use XFS for your small boot drives if you do not need the extra features, as it adds unnecessary complexity. To be precise, that covers use ext4 for small to medium storage needs and boot partitions, and use XFS for massive multi-terabyte storage volumes. To recap, always keep an eye on your inodes, not just your blocks. The virtual file system is the secret sauce that makes Linux so modular. Keep an eye on iostat to catch performance bottlenecks before they become outages. Use find to hunt down rogue processes generating too many files. And finally, pick your file system for your specific workload. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more practical IT resources every week. Thanks for watching. This channel is dedicated to providing knowledgeable content for IT professionals building their skills in Linux, cloud, DevOps, Python, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Subscribe to stay updated, and I will see you in the next one.